So tell us about putting it together. What was that process like?
I guess a bit tricky because our producers were out of town, so a lot of it was done over the phone, but at least one of them had gone to school here and knew some of the local knowledge and had an idea of where we were going to do it and when. But the where and the when were a bit tricky too, just because it's the end of the year, people are busy with school and shows. A lot of my musical theater major friends are busy with Recruitment, which opens tonight. So it was tricky recruiting, that was the hardest thing. And also it's sort of one of those things that you want it to be kept secret because it is a flash mob and it's supposed to be spontaneous and a surprise for everyone around. You don't want to send mass emails out to people getting them to join because they might just show up and watch, which some people did, I'm sure. But that was probably the trickiest part. In terms of planning, getting sound from space, there's all these rules and regulations with the university having to go through and make it an official event and see if there's other events happening on certain days. For example, yesterday there was an event, the big, right behind us, a big, all those jumping things where they blow them up.
Bounce house
the
thing,
bounce house.
I guess?
Yeah, exactly. They have those bounce house things. And I thought, oh, thank God there's not one of those tomorrow, because there's no way we can do the choreography. But after talking with you guys, the producers, I kind of started formulating my dream of what my dream flash mob would be. And we knew we were going to be in robes, and we wanted graduation themes. And so one of my best friends, Jenny, and I went on Google and just searched graduation themed songs and came up with a bunch, went to YouTube, checked them out. Does this work? Is this what we want? What kind of message is it sending? Is it too slow? Can we choreograph to this? How is it sectioned off? And settled on a great song. Like, makes you so happy. You can't not be happy when you hear it. Send Me On My Way by Rusted Root. Some people know it from Ice Age, some people know it from Matilda. I'm sure it's in a bunch of other movies too. So we settled on the song. That was like one of the first steps. What are we going to do it to? What are we going to do? How many people do we want involved? And with the producers we talked, goal was like 80 to 100. How do you coordinate all that? We talked about, having some optional rehearsals and incentives to get people to come to rehearsals at this busy time of year. Free food, of course, which is good for college students. And also learning it online, because we did a little research on Google again to see how do people learn flash mobs, and a lot of these things are learned online. And we came to the space, just behind me, and just kind of looked around at various options. Where can we have people coming from? How far? Is it too far to come from different, the undergraduate libraries? Do we want people on bikes? Do we want it to move? Where are we going to put the final booth? Where's everything going to be? So a lot of it was just like theater on a mass scale, because there's no stage that I've ever seen that's this big. And I think one of the things we found when choreographing and moving it on the space was that it was a lot further than we thought we had to run. So we had to cut some things down and allow for time for people to get there and time things out, as well as trying to be a little incognito so that we weren't revealing too much. But we also used things in the space. Like if you can see the bricks here are designed and laid out so that there's a darker kind of, we call it the grid. And so rather than having a full staging and full spacing rehearsal, which we knew we weren't going to be able to do, which would also draw a lot of attention, we just posted some aerial photos online and told people to find their intersections on the grid, which kind of made for, it was a little sparse when we did it, but made for some nice spacing after this big dance break we had. What else? Cutting the song. It was 4 minutes long, which is a bit long, a lot to learn. So I had a sound engineer friend, and I sat in her dorm room for 2 hours and kind of spliced and chopped things together. It sounds fabulous. You wouldn't even know it was cut at all. She did such a good job. And then it was just really coming down to recruiting people. And the best way to do it, I think, despite all of our technologies and our iPhones and our Facebook and our emails, was word of mouth, quite literally. I had a great team. Carly Barron and Sally Davis really helped me with recruiting other teammates. They're members of the ballroom team, so they reached out to their ballroom buddies, and I reached out to some of my musical theater and theater friends. And really just the one-on-one. What are you doing Thursday at 1 o'clock? Can you be there at 1:05? And can you learn it online? Do you have half an hour? That was like tricky.
How much time did it take to put together? How much time do you have to do this? Well, you did it all in the span of what, a couple weeks?
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks maybe. I think the email actually looked today. The email was sent out almost a month ago. It was the 15th, the first email. And there were some other people who responded to that email too that were first interested that unfortunately had to back about 2 weeks to put it together, and a couple hours a day for the last week or so. Just rehearsing. We had rehearsals from last Friday on, and sometimes scheduling rehearsals was a bit difficult. I was fortunate and thankful to my faculty for letting us use some of our musical theater rehearsal spaces and studios that are normally completely reserved just for productions. But sometimes we rehearsed in the gym. One day we had everyone come to a racquetball court in the gym and kind of walked it out and used the lines in the racquetball court to kind of depict, okay, this is the various platform and this is what this is. But also we came to the space a few times later at night just to kind of walk through things. That was really important to be able to do it. Some of the moves move down the steps, and I don't know if you've ever danced down steps, but it's a little tricky. You probably want to try it once before doing it in front of, I don't know, hundreds. It seemed like there were hundreds of people.
Yeah.
It was really successful, and immediately everyone had their phones out and were taking photos, and I think some are already online. So it's kind of exciting.
What was your favorite part?
I think really for me, choreographing and teaching it, I had a great time doing that. Didn't get to choreograph. We have a student choreograph class called Dance Workshop, and I didn't get to partake this semester. There just wasn't the rehearsal time in the space. And so I was a little bit bummed about that, but when this opportunity came up, I thought this would be great. So choreographing it and working and meeting new people and working with new people and teaching them, and teaching some dancers who can pick it up in like 10 minutes and kind of, you know, we speak the same language. We can speak the lingo, step will change, pony, downstage, upstage, left stage, right stage. But also teaching it to non-dancers. Some friends of mine from freshman year who are nuclear engineers and all sorts of different majors. That was fun, teaching it, trying to figure out, okay, now if I was an engineer, how would I think of this, or what's going to help them remember it. So teaching, I think, choreographing and teaching.